Hello and welcome to episode 91 of Ring Talk. Joined by me again. Martin's not here. Where's Martin again? Whistled out again. I did it once to cover for Martin. He's never been back since.
He's going to be doing next week's.
He is.
He's going to be doing next week's, but he's been. He went off. I think he went off to Amsterdam for a few days.
Oh God!
So I think he's up to no good again. So I think we keep. I think he's got too much in his life going on apart from coming here.
So I'll pick up the slack for him. Okay, Steve. So we'll.
No wonder Dave the Whip stays at his house. That's what
I say. The pair of them are a bad combination. Okay, so we'll review last week's boxing, the Sky and USA, as well as. Prospere Felix and Sajid, and also your Goodwin show. Starting with the Sky event, first of all. How was it? I'm just trying to find the we'll start with it. We might as well start with the main event. Scott Quigg, Jono Carroll.
I think when I previewed it, I said that the fight depends on what Scott Quigg's got left, but he's had a lot of inactivity, and I think he showed what he had left. He didn't have anything left.
Scott Quigg a couple of years ago beats Carroll, didn't he?
Yeah, although we've got to remember he's come up from super bantam to super feather, and he doesn't bring the power up with him, but he just wasn't there. Gone, and 18 months out, it showed it. The problem when you're talking about things like that, and when people talk about the betting side of it, you can't bet on a fight like that because you're gambling on things that you don't know. Yeah. But what you do know is that when a 31-year-old at the lighter weight says 18 months out, more often than not, they start to lose it. And I think he showed it. It was quite sad to see, I thought. I thought that the corner let him stay in the fight too long. I thought he took unnecessary punishment. I think Scott Quigg shows the signs of being a boxer, and I think to subject him to additional punishment was when he was lost every single round.
He's retired now as well. Now,
he should have. Yeah. I mean, I think
he had a great career though. To be fair to him,
had a great career, but he went about 3 rounds too long.
Still famous for. Me and Josh talked about on the way back from the show on Saturday. Still famous for that walkout from his house.
Yeah, it was quite he's been a credit to the sport, and full credit to him. But Jono Carroll beat him, but we've got to be real. Jono Carroll is a very good fighter. He's not an elite fighter. So, but I mean, Jono Carroll, he lacks power for the top level, and I think he'll always be found out when he steps up.
Always been a good scrap though, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Zach Parker.
Watch that. Zach Parker. He's British level. Talking about him fighting for a world title, well, they'd have to find a real soft touch for him to.
That was for the vacant WBO Intercontinental.
Yeah, when apparently it was that was supposed. They think that it's the winner gets a crack at the WBO title, which is it has to be a soft one for him to win because he is not world level. But he's a good fighter. Again, not being disrespectful, we're talking about domestic level to world class. And when you're talking about Zach Parker at world level, when I know he dislocated his shoulder, but he lost to Darryl Williams, and he didn't handle Murdoch had his parts in the fight where he gave as good as he got, and Murdoch had only ever fought in Australia. So to talk about him as a realistic world champion is, in my opinion, ridiculous.
Hughie Fury, Purple Sale. We wasn't
exactly what we said.
He wasn't keen on that last week anyway, was we?
No, and the point with that was, again, I mean, you're then saying, the Hughie showed a new thing. Come on, that kid gets knocked out and stopped and beaten by any heavyweight we've ever had, let alone Hughie Fury, who's good enough to have fought for a world title for high level. It was just ridiculous fight. And
then he found it was a change of opponent.
It was unfortunate. The kid couldn't even. Kid was on skates.
It was a late change of opponent.
Wasn't. It really was an okay show, but it reminded me more of the shows pre-Eddie Hearn coming in.
Sky.
Because Eddie Hearn raised the bar to, I think, brilliant proportions. They took boxing to another level, but that show dropped it back down to the level it was before.
Okay, the US fight, so Helenius versus Adam Kownacki.
Shows you how you can get a fighter to a zero who's not that good. Because Kownacki was, just not.
Scaffold got caught, I did see that one.
He's just not that good. Yeah. Just shows, the marketing of a heavyweight. You get them to these 20-0s, and he just isn't that good.
Sure.
Just isn't that good. And Helenius, he's been a good stalwart, and I remember
he's been around forever, isn't he?
but he's not. He's not world level. No. So he's just exposed. He's exposed Kownacki for what he is.
Yeah.
an okay heavyweight that's being marketed up, but that's not good for Al Ghena. That's not one of his heavyweights getting beat.
No, sure. Good finish though, by Helenius, once he had him hurt.
I was, yeah. I mean, do you know what? It was good to see him do it. I think he was as surprised as everybody.
Yeah, once he had him hurt, he didn't have him. Okay, so you had a few your fighters fighting at the weekend. We'll start with Sangeeta Birdi. He was on the Scott Callow show.
I mean, it was good to get back in the winning ways after
4 rounds,
he was fighting Saudi.
Just routine.
She just had to get a routine win, but he dared to be great and took the ground to Saudi. Didn't work out for him, so we can build him up again now, but he had to get that win in, and we'll sit down and he's got to be aiming now towards titles now.
Towards it,
he's got to be moving towards titles.
Certainly moving up to 6 rounds, then going from there.
Yeah, we need to
so Curtis Felix, Southern Area, St Gilly,
Brentwood. Went to Brentwood. After 8 rounds, it was all level. I think that was a fair assessment of the fight. I had it close. Curtis faded, and he got caught in the last round. Sam Gilly was just stronger. Curtis Felix is good enough to win titles, right? In my opinion. There was a difference in size there. Where Sam
but you expected that anyway.
Yeah, but the issue is, and it's something I'm going to be talking about with a lot of our fighters, you either fight at the weight you can make relatively easily, or you really get on board with getting top nutritionists to get you down to weight, and you follow the nutrition you're given.
That's a bugbear of mine as well. Sorry, Steve. One of the things that I put a status up about this a while ago is about how boxers spend £300 on a pair of shorts but won't spend £200 or whatever it costs a nutritionist, and we're a weight making sport. I sometimes think we got that the wrong way around.
I saw Sam Gilly afterwards, and he said to me, the difference was, he said, I could be a middleweight. But that's where my natural weight is. But I do what it takes to become a welterweight. Curtis Felix is.
He'll only do that for so long though. He'll naturally outgrow.
He'll come up, but
he's doing the right.
But he said, but Curtis Felix said to me, he's making the weight he feels comfortable with, and that was the difference in the fight. And do you know what? I think I have Sam Gilly right by that. I will talk about Sam in a minute, but I have him right that Curtis was fighting a boxer at a higher weight level, and he done a lot of. Sam used his weight to his advantage, got away with it, and he drained Curtis Felix down. Now that's always the same. If you are fighting a bigger man, you've got to seriously look at your strategy and say, should I be a lightweight? Now, I've got this thing with a few boxers, as you know at the moment, that I believe some of our boxers fight a weight above where they should be. And where what it does is their ability will carry them to a level. But when you want to step up those levels, that is the difference. And you've got to decide how badly you want to do it. Get a proper nutritionist. Curtis admitted he hadn't been the greatest on his food. Right? Now, Sam Gilly, trust me, has got nutritionists on board and everything. Curtis cheated a bit on the food, and that was the difference in the fight. Curtis was good enough. Was good enough.
Level was really good,
was good enough, and he's good enough to beat levels of the people of the Sam Gilly level, but he's got to have a look at it now, and I think he needs to come down a weight. I think if we get him down to super lightweight, I think Curtis Felix wins an English title.
I agree,
right, at super lightweight. He doesn't win it at welterweight. And that's my opinion, honest opinion. Curtis Felix is a really, really talented kid, balls of steel. He's got everything he needs. He just needs to come down a weight. And that's my opinion. But I've got so much faith in him. I think he gave it all. Sam Gilly, the consummate professional, prepared well. But he wasn't out. There was no doubt, and I think he wasn't a level above Curtis.
No, sure.
But he just had those advantages that told him around 9 and 10. Sam caught Curtis really well in the 10th. Curtis, how he survived and didn't get stopped in the 10th, God only knows. So Sam Gilly deserves all the credit, and he will retain that Southern Area title. There are not many welterweights out there in the Southern Area that can beat Sam Gilly, because he's got the size and he's obviously got the dedication. So he deserved that. Do I believe he beats Echo Esserman, the English champion, if that's who they go? No, I don't. But he's a very good fighter, Sam, and he deserved the win.
Sure.
And he won on points. It was the right decision. But Curtis gave a great fight. Curtis can come again, but I want him at a lighter weight.
Okay, so you had Youssef, Khoumari, and K. Prospere. I'll talk about Youssef first, obviously.
Yeah, so I didn't get there because I was at Bremerton. The M25 was shut.
And there was a show as well.
Yeah, so I had Youssef, Khoumari, Martin was there looking after the sufferers, and he basically said that Youssef looked very, very impressive with a second round stoppage. But Youssef Khoumari is a super talent who can be at a very high level, but he needs a little bit more time just to develop that through. But Youssef Khoumari is very, very talented, and he looked very good. And K. Prospere
defending his English title.
K's amazing. He's getting better and better.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah, he's getting better and better. He beat below Raymond. The Martin said he won it. He well deserved to win. I know that they're crying that they only lost because it was an away show, but apparently Martin says quite comfortably
that going away.
Well, there's also the risk of going away, but also Martin said he won the fight. And it's just now we've got to sit down and work out where we're going next.
So where is going? That's what I was going to say. Obviously, I know where you're going to go with it.
The British title's being contested on the March, but they've got 9 months to do a voluntary, which is December. You get served a mandatory in December. Yeah. You're talking about fighting for the British title in March next year. Yeah. The second problem you've got with that British title at the moment is there's no value in those two fighters.
No, sure.
The money they're getting paid for this is not something that I would want one of my fighters to fight for a British title for, but then you can only pay what something is worth. Yeah. And therefore you've got to look at that point of view from K is that's not necessarily a fight I wouldn't let him fight for the money that's available at the moment. Sure. So we would have to obviously sort that out. But there are other options that I'm going to look into, but he deserves now a big fight. He's had 3 back-to-back tough fights, 1 draw, 2 wins for an English title. He should be in the British title mix, but to do it, he's got to get paid for it.
And he's shown how you can turn it around, didn't he? Obviously lost the Southern area against Rakim, obviously a few years ago now, but just shows that you can lose a fight, you can build back, and
you need 3 things to build back from a loss. You need a good manager, he's got that. You need an excellent trainer, he's got that. And you've got to have that inner soul and commitment to really, really want it.
Do what it takes, yeah.
And he's got that. He deserves every credit in the world for something going wrong, putting everything right, and coming back and doing what he's done. And I've got the utmost respect for K. Prospere.
So well done, K. So obviously, at a show, Alan had a show at York Hall.
I saw some
12 fights. 12 fights. Yeah, I'll run down the list and we'll go for the thing. So obviously Rob Garvey, so Mendes Martin come on to the show. Unfortunately, got caught in the second round.
It was a shame for Adam and Rob. I mean, really, it was a late substitute, but Kieran had never won a fight.
No, sure.
So you wouldn't have thought
0-7-1 coming into it.
You wouldn't have thought that would pose him with a danger, but in boxing,
that's why we love boxing. Boxing can happen.
He caught.
That's why we get attached to this sport, because the unpredictability and the things that can happen. So
I mean, that's down. I mean, he's not my fighter, so that's up to them.
Unfortunately, to see it, but it's one of the things. Again, as we said, loss doesn't mean anything. It's I'm sure we can put it back. Yeah. Constantin Ursu, obviously, so international from amateur from obviously Plymouth, made his debut last year on the Plymouth show. First one up against Theodore Nikolov.
I thought he showed a lot more this time.
Yeah, he wasn't nervous this time around, was he?
No, his debut was. I think underwhelming is probably unfair, but it wasn't overwhelming.
Sure.
But I thought we saw plenty of what he could do. I think he a little bit too emotive in the ring, a little bit too got caught up with a few sort of little bit of a needle in there. But super talented. He's very young. He's 20 now. Yeah. I think he's going to go on to great things in the sport, and we'll develop him.
He's back out on the 10th of April.
Yeah.
Talk about someone else who's back out on the 10th of April. Harry Armstrong made his debut, long-awaited debut. He's back out on the 10th of April, but he was against Czech Miloslav Pavek.
I thought Harry showed really good movement.
Performance. I thought
really good movement, sharp. good shot selection.
Pavic tried to jump on in the first 30 seconds, didn't he? Just overwhelm him, but other than that,
I thought Harry. I thought for a debut, I thought it was a really good debut and something that he can build on. I'm looking forward to seeing an improvement again at Plymouth. I think he'd be even better on his second fight. And no, I think Harry, that was a really, really good debut, and I was really happy for him.
And again, it's good for him. It was 18 months it take him from start to finish in terms of these things. So well done, Harry, to getting that. Sangeeta Birdi versus Bojana Libiskuska.
Sangeeta lost every round. I haven't spoken to everybody after the fight. To me, the problem with female boxing, you don't have a choice. She's had to go with somebody who fought for the WIBF world title.
Sure, but in terms of record, Libiskuska was 6-39,
and had lost something like 20 on the bounce. But she'd lost, but at a decent level.
Sure, yeah.
But you've got to be winning. Yeah, and she did lose every round.
Yeah, so, let's see what Gunshot did show. Maybe what was it that happened in the first fight. But what I did say on commentary, that I was saying to Josh, she showed heart until if you think about, obviously she lost in her second fight, she got caught with a shot. There was no hesitation. She was straight back in there. There was no hesitation with this opponent. She was happy to. So she's got balls. I was going to say she's got balls, but it's she's shown she's got grit and determination in that thing. But just got a little bit outworked. I said to her after the fight, just got outworked in phases of that fight in every round.
That's what it was.
That's basically.
She needs to,
had some success, but just basically.
We'll have to sit down with her and Brian and decide what to do next.
What's next? Okay, Kola Koyejo.
I don't manage Kola. I didn't see the fight.
Daryl Sharp, great fight to be fair. Trade off. Daryl Sharp was having it first of all, caught Kola with some good shots. Kola settled towards the end of the second round there and run out comfortable win, but that was a really good fight to be fair. Another good fight, Jacko and Andy Bishop. Did you see that one?
Didn't see that one. Before that.
They went at it, tore strips off each other. Jacko improving every fight because Jacko has got top style, is always going to be in good fights. Comes to that fight, Andy Bishop was really up for it as well, really calm and
put down Ziggy McCauley.
Like I say, Ziggy McCauley. Andy Bishop, although he's his record is he's a journeyman, but he will come and have a go, and they really did. It was a really, really, really good fight. Everyone gave great entertainment for that. So Amar Kayani, he fought Theodore Boyanezev. Really good fight. Amar showed great shot selection. Dropped Boyanezev heavy in the second round. I don't know how he got up from that. Me and Josh said on commentary, he went down like he was in an elevator. He sort of dropped like a sack of potatoes. Great right hand. Eventually getting the stoppage in the fourth, but he's doing great, isn't he, Amar?
High hopes for him. He's got Stuart Scott down in High Wycombe, who's a really, really good trainer and's got a really good setup there. Big amateur club as well, but they breed a lot of champions there, and I think Amar will be a champion without a shadow of a doubt. I've got high hopes for him, and the setup there is great.
You can see why his tickets are there, because the way he fights, he's really got a fan-friendly type of style.
He's a lovely guy as well, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a really
full credit to Amar. So I want to get him. We're going to talk about getting him out again because I want to see him really develop, and it's going to be good fun.
James Verbeeten versus Lee Devine, two of yours against each other.
Yeah, James has shown us his second fight. Suffers a little bit with nerves, but
doesn't show it in the ring though.
No, just beforehand, I think. But I was telling the story about Sam Webb, who tried to climb out of windows before he was fighting for the British title and run down the street. Yeah. So it does happen. Even the top level fighters have nerves, and you wouldn't be right not to have it. But again, the more he fights, the more the nerves will come out. And I thought he put in a really solid performance. Lee Devine's just a really tough opponent, tough man. Stands there, takes his licks, gives a bit back, and full credit to what Lee does.
It was a good performance. Terry Conroy, again, another one for Del Granger, married to Jordan Granham.
Six rounder. Points. Derek Granger's a good. Derek Granger manages him. I don't. Terry's always welcome on the shows. He brings a good fan base, and he's very excited to watch. But you're never going to get rid of Jordan Granham.
No, Jordan Graham's an exceptional fighter. Daniel Mendes versus Dimitri Kalinowski.
Really good performance because the key is Kalinowski wobbles and gives people trouble. He gave Daniel no real trouble. Daniel just totally took him to school.
It was excellent from him.
And so I think Daniel Mendes is an exceptional fighter that has improved leaps and bounds since being with Brian Gee.
Is it title for him next? We've got to have a look now. We've got to have a look. We've got to see what happens. Obviously, that's getting contested this weekend.
You've got Southern area. You've got Dion's got the English. We've got to sit down now. I think it's time for Daniel to go back in the mix. I mean, he lost to Nick Parper, but let me tell you that Daniel Mendes that fought Nick Parper is not the real Daniel Mendes.
Me and Josh said that on cons actually. It's about the what Daniel's always had is been able to box off the back foot and scoot around. What he didn't do was that bit of aggression at times, and he showed that against Kownacki. He set about him at times, and you know he had the good mix of both moving around and being the pressure fighter.
It's the difference of coaches sometimes can make a big difference.
Bryce done a great job with him.
Bryce done a great job, and you know I honestly believe, if he fought Nick Parper again, and it's not going to happen, but I think he beats Nick Parper.
On that performance,
and that's being honest. But you know, I think from his point of view, we're going to create a route for him now and sit down and have a look at what options there are.
2 other fights, let's go. Denis Dekikajev versus Chris Wilkinson.
You know I love Denis Dekikajev. I think he's champion waiting to happen.
Yeah, he's excellent.
This lad, he's going to win things.
Yeah.
He's excellent. He's an
absolute joy to manage in terms of...
Wonderful. And his trainer, Dave Sadler, brilliant people. That kid's going to be a champion. Yeah. And I've got the
young as well, isn't he?
So I've just got to press the button at the right time.
Yeah, it's a great performance. It ended up Chris Wilkinson was scheduled for 6, but Wilkinson pulled out at the end of the 4th round, bad cut over the right eye. And finally, Jamie Smith, Taylor Mehmed. Jamie Smith just battered Mehmed for a round, absolutely set about him, and knocked him pillar to post, and Mehmed pulled out at the end of the 1st round. Complaining of a shoulder injury.
Probably his shoulder was sore. He's probably getting battered, but remember, it doesn't normally do that, so it just shows you how good Jamie is.
It's tough.
Jamie's exceptional, another champion.
It was a good show, well attended.
Yeah, it was good.
Really good show.
Good night.
So moving ahead for this week, another big show, 3 Southern Area title fights, ABC and 4 Promotions Unleashed. We'll start with the top of the bill, so to speak. Dean Richardson defends against Conrad Stempkowski.
Now, Dean's been a pleasure. Talk about pleasure to manage. He's been that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But he's also developed. Fantastic.
He's a fighter, isn't he?
He's a really, really good fighter. He's still very young.
Sure.
So we've got to really manage him carefully. But I'm expecting him to win this fight, win it well. I don't have any doubts about the result. That's me personally. I can always be wrong, but
sure.
I think Dean, providing he's prepared well, I think he's levels above a lot of people at this level, and I think Conrad Stempkowski is a very good, capable fighter. I just don't think he's on the level of Dean Richardson.
The only hope for this is, you think, because Dean Richardson's a favourite coming into this, you hope he hasn't cut corners, and you hope that he's prepared, you hope that he's done everything necessary.
If he's done everything necessary, he wins. Yeah. So I think we've got an interview, haven't we?
We've got an interview with Dean when he comes down to the media day, so we'll throw it in now to see what he says ahead of this fight. Okay, so Hughie Boxing HQ, I'm joined by current Southern Area Super Welterweight Champion Dean Richardson. Dean, how are you?
I'm good, mate, thank you.
So second time up, it's the second time we've had to take pictures of you and videos and stuff.
It is.
That's what happens when you become a champion, you see, you're famous again, you have to come up.
Well, that's when you become a man. Not 16.
Okay, so obviously 11-0 as a pro so far. You are Southern Area champion. It's been a perfect start of your career so far.
Yeah.
Coming into now the 14th of March, where you defend your Southern Area for the first time against Conrad Stempkowski. First of all, how's training going?
Perfectly. Haven't had any problems or any hiccups along the way so far. We've got 4 weeks, so it's quite an intense stage of camp. Obviously all the rounds get longer. Well, the rounds don't get longer, but you do more. In the weights, they're all getting heavier. Obviously not my weight, that's coming down. But yeah, everything's just stepping up now, and looking forward to getting it like 2 weeks, 10 days out and start tapering down.
So the gym's buzzing at the moment as well. Obviously you're trained by Gary Logan, you've got Dion Juma in the same camp, obviously just defended his English cruiserweight. So what's it like being in around the camp? I think you've got Sam McNess in there as well.
Yeah.
Good boys, but what's it like being in the camp with those boys?
Oh, it's a good laugh. They're everyone's really, really close, good friends as well, but being in that company, obviously both of them boys were on the GB set up as amateurs, and now Dion's obviously looking to, well, he has got a British title shot now, so being around him all the time, always picking things up, and and Gary and Harold as well. It's just really good people to be around.
And Gary's a very quiet, assuming guy. He doesn't get the probably perhaps some of the credit he gets for being a fantastic coach. And what's it like, obviously, having him, his watchful eye over you in the gym?
Yeah, it's good. He's obviously, I come to him about 18 months ago now, and he's just someone that you like want to impress, kind of thing. Like whether you're sparring on the pads or the bag, whatever. I feel like he brings the best out in me, so really happy with where I am.
So obviously you got Konrad Stempkowski on the 14th of March. Do you know much about him? What's your thing? Do you do much research, or do you leave it up to Gary? You just do your thing?
Well, I let Gary and Steve choose who I was fighting. I only sort of watched them, I think, last week or the week before. There's a few fights on YouTube. So yeah, I don't watch too much. I don't sit there and write down everything they do, because if they get in there and do something that you expect or don't expect, it's going to throw you off. So I watch them, pick up their habits, their strengths, their weaknesses, and just sort of going with a game plan in my mind how I'm going to approach the fight. So yeah, that's how I'm doing this fight.
Is it different now, Dean? Obviously you're a champion now, you've got a target on your back, so to speak. People are looking, so does it change your mindset coming in? Obviously until that you've always been, not the underdog, but you've always been sort of the challenger into stuff, and now you're the champion. Does it feel different? Is it a different mindset?
No, not really. No, not really. Obviously, I've got to go in there and do a job with Nathan Graham. Like I said, I watched his fights, picked up his strengths, weaknesses, habits, and made a game plan for that. I'm doing exactly the same thing for this. Obviously, I want to push on for the English title afterwards, and if I don't take this fight as serious as what I did when I was the challenger, then I won't be pushing on for the English title afterwards.
And just talk about, obviously, Nathan Graham, when you secured the Southern Area title shot, second round KO with one of the sweetest right hooks that you're likely to see. Was that something you worked on, Dean, or was it just you rolled into the punch? Was it something you worked on, or was it something you knew that you were susceptible to?
No, it was actually something I worked on with Nathan. I found that when he was in close, in all of his fights I'd seen, he stood quite upright and he let his hands go. So I thought, if I can stay nice and low, punch in between his shots, get my head out of the way and come back with another one, then I was pretty convinced I was going to stop him. It come the first time I tried it, so I was happy, thinking it was going to. I was thinking probably like mid-round, but it come in the second round of the first time that I tried it. He come in close, so yeah, no, I was happy with it.
Excellent. So obviously regulars to Goodwin Boxing will know you and have seen you, but obviously someone seeing this for the first time, think to myself, this is a ugly fella that I'd like to get behind. How do they get hold of you, Dean? Are you on Facebook, you're on Twitter, Instagram? How do they get hold of you?
Well, if they do want to get hold of me, my Twitter and my Instagram is @DinoBoxing, and my Facebook is just Dean Richardson.
All right, mate. Well, thank you for joining us again. I know you've been waiting around a bit today. 14th of March, we look forward to you defending your Southern Area title.
Cheers, mate.
So confident. Next one, Sean Phillips, Davis Pagan. Obviously,
that's the fight I put together. Sean Phillips is managed by Martin Bowers. Davis Pagan's managed by Derek Waddell. We just facilitated the fight for them.
Good fight, though.
It's a really good fight. I have Sean Phillips as favourite for the fight. I'm looking forward to seeing the fight. I think it'll be a very good fight. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Sean Phillips has to offer. He collared me on Saturday, Sean, chasing down our middleweights. So you
can't blame me for doing that.
You can't blame me for doing that. But I said to him, we're facilitating your fight. We're not trying to manage your career. But you can understand him chasing down the fights. But I said it makes it more interesting for me to watch.
Yeah. So it's good to have him on the show as well. So
he's a really nice, even his dad, they're really nice people.
Nice people.
Yeah.
And then the big guys, cruiserweights, Jose Lopez versus Ian Martel, vacant Southern Area cruiserweight title.
I was with Mervyn Turner on Saturday. They're very confident.
Yeah.
The Martel team are very, very, very confident. Extremely confident, I can say. I mean, they think they really believe. I've got so much faith in Jose Lopez. I think that we've never seen him as he should be. We've never seen the real Jose Lopez for various reasons.
Sure.
And for me, I can hand on my heart. And I'm not. I believe there are valid reasons why we haven't seen the best of Jose yet. For me, the best Jose Lopez wins this fight. if he doesn't win, then then I'll be really disappointed. I think he has got everything that you need. He's got speed. He's got shot selection. He's got a very, very good trainer now who I've got utmost faith with. Look what he did with Wadi Camacho.
Yeah, great trainer.
I believe they've got a great game plan. They've done brilliant sparring. The preparation has been exceptional. And I think this is going to be Jose's time to shine. Ian Martel is a very, very strong come-forward fighter. Very strong. But we've got, in my opinion, we've got the classy boxer against a big, strong man.
Who can implement the game plan again?
Who can implement the game plan. But I always believe that if you've got a very, very talented boxer, they will normally beat the tough, strong man. But we'll see. I've got full respect for Ian Martel. I've had good reports. Ozzy Gervier fought him. Phil Williams has been in the room with him, and they both come back telling me that he's very, very good. So there's no disrespect. I think Jose Lopez is exceptional. Yeah, potentially exceptional. So therefore, I'm expecting him to show that to me on Saturday. But what a fight!
Yeah, what a card! It's a really, really good card. This thing. So also on the undercard, the pick of obviously Ellis Zorro, Ozzy Gervier. So Ellis steps up.
Well, Ozzy's training like a demon for this because I manage both of them. But Ellis Zorro's moved to 8. We've looked after him and he's developed his career. But this is a step up for Ellis because
which is the right time.
Ozzy's coming to win. He's 8-0 now. He's got to fight Ozzy Gervier. Ozzy's 38. He still tries very hard. He probably wouldn't be. He'd admit himself he's not as good as he was when he was 35. But he's coming to bring it, and I think that's going to be a really, really interesting fight. It will also show you where Ellis is at.
Sure.
Because he's got a live fight here, and I'm looking forward to that fight.
Yeah, really good. So obviously on the undercard, we won't mention all the things we just mentioned. Yaser Al Ghena's on the undercard. He's obviously doing a 6-rounder.
Well, he's down to 4 now.
He's down to 4, is he?
He's down to 4 now.
Okay, so he's doing a 4 rounds. Neil Parry on the undercard. Jordan Juzan, Ruiz Mahmoud, both from.
Let's run through a little bit of them. Yaser Al Ghena's 4-0.
Yeah.
He's got the talent to get to titles. We've got to get him rolling and get him sort of. He's had some inactivity. And he's got to get some
great style, isn't he? Great style.
But you've got to get some momentum going.
Yeah.
Neil Parry. It's time now for him to make the step up. He has improved. Yeah, definitely. So it's time now for him to get this one out of the way and start.
He's a lovely boxer, Neil Parry, when he puts it together. He can box beautifully. So
yeah, but then but he's a welterweight. Would you put him in with Sam Gilly?
Sure, exactly.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So. You've got, but Neil Parry is a very, very, very good boxer and extremely
nice
talented. Nice lad. He can win titles. He can win titles. Ramez Mahmoud, who's Mickey Amuse, that's going to be a really good fight.
Brett
Fido comes and brings it. I think that's going to be a really interesting fight. So he's there, and Jordan Dujon takes on Jordan Granham. Is back again. You can bet your life that's going to points.
So it's a good fight though. It's a good test for
Jordan. That's a step up for Jordan Dujon.
Jordan Graham's a great opponent in terms of he makes people work. You'll find out a little bit more about him. Kofi Donka, Lee Devine.
Kofi's had a lot of injury problems. He's got to get some momentum going now. Yeah. Lovely kid, gets the boxing business, understands everything. A pleasure to manage.
Very intelligent, isn't he? Articulate as well.
Very talented. Very talented. I'm expecting a good performance from Kofi.
Conor Hines. So fought on our show before, 2-0 at the moment. He's come back. He's against Sean Watt.
Yeah, first time we've managed to take over the management. And no, I'm looking for. I think Conor's talented and
got to get some momentum for Conor now as well. Get into this.
Got to get him rolling. Exactly. Get him rocking and rolling. Super middleweight that he can go and win titles without a doubt. But we've got to get momentum and get him rolling properly. So it's just the first step of doing that.
Joe Roswell, obviously one coming from MTK, just coming on the show. Yeah. He makes his debut 4 rounds.
He was a junior ABA champion. Yeah. So
good amateur.
Good amateur. So he's debuting. Look forward to seeing him.
And Vladimir Georgiev from Stuart Davis. He's fights Jan Ardon.
That's not a bad fight. Jan Ardon actually pulled off a shock at the weekend. He's now 2-3. So it's a good little fight. But Georgiev he's regarded highly. He's 4-0. So he's got to produce the goodies, but it's a really good card.
Yeah, it's a really good. I said the 3 main fights are exceptional. The next 2 weeks, the 21st is a really good card as well. The next 2 cards coming up, and like I said, Saturday was a good show as well. So that's the thing. One to watch. Move on to one to watch is Jake Spring. So we've got an interview with Jake.
Now Jake Spring had one fight on a Miranda Carter show many moons ago. Many moons ago.
He had a 5-year gap, didn't he?
Yeah, and then came back, and I was so impressed with Jake Spring. I think his dad's great man, great trainer. They're great people. but I'm really impressed with him. I think he can crack through. What we need to do: build momentum, build the right type of opponents, gradually build and build up. But if he sticks at this, champion for sure. Yeah,
it's really good. Like I say, 5 years out, he showed no ring rust at all when he came back in, didn't he? He was sharp and thing. But we've got an interview with Jake when he came up before, so we're going to play that for you now to just a short little interview about his upcoming fight. So Goodwin Boxing HQ for the Goodwin Boxing Media Day. I'm joined by 2-0 professional Jake Spring. How are we doing, Jake?
I'm good, thank you. Kev, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. So your third pro fight coming up the 21st of March.
Yeah.
The first one of 2020. How's preparation going so far?
Yeah, it's been brilliant, mate. 1,000 times better than obviously coming back, dropping a lot of weight for my reunion for my second pro fight. So obviously I'm a lot fitter, a lot stronger now. Just looking forward to getting out there.
So people don't know, obviously you turned professional a few years ago, then you had a big time out, and obviously come back. So what was the for people that don't know, what was the time out for, Jake, and how long was you out for?
Time out for, what people always ask me for, is because my mum got lung cancer, my dad got kidney cancer in the same year. So for me it was very important to spend a lot of time with my family. My family comes first before anything, because I love them more than anything in this world. So for me it was time to make sure mum and dad needed mine and the family support before I could obviously progress with my boxing. And obviously taking that time out it's worked in two phases. I lost time out in boxing, but it's made me more mature and a lot stronger person that I am today. So that's why I had 5 years out, and I missed boxing, everything was alright, so it's time to come back.
And first of all, the obvious question is, how is mum and dad?
Yeah, touch wood, they're both 5 years clear now, which is
excellent. That's great news. That's great. So obviously now this is your second pro fight in relatively short space of time. Obviously now we're getting some momentum. How important is it for you now in 20 to kick on and get that momentum?
It's very important. I want to get as many fights in as I can, because obviously I don't want to rush, obviously be built up in the right time, but I'm 26, 27 this year, so if I really want to kick through, I've got to progress my stage really quick.
So with the first fight, and then you had the 5 year gap, and then obviously you had your second fight. Did the second fight feel like a debut again?
It did and it didn't, because it was a chance for me to make put the mistakes to bed that I had in my first pro fight, obviously, where I still boxed well, but I sort of froze. And now this second time I knew what it was all about, so it was a different kind of atmosphere, so it gave me a lot more confidence.
And obviously you trained by your dad, Gary Spring. You're obviously at the Pro Count Out gym. How's it going? How does it feel being trained by your dad? Does that cause some friction, or is it all just the perfect setup?
No, it's I love my dad to pieces. Like, whatever happens at the gym. We never bring it home, but we always bicker anyway, because that's father and son. But that's who makes us who we are. So if we didn't bicker, none of us would be okay. So it's just one of those things.
And we talked a couple of years later, mate. So you're on obviously Joe and Jamie. You've got a great little buzzing gym there. What's it like being in the gym with those lads?
Yeah, it's good. I love it, because they're a lot stronger than me, but I'm a lot fitter than them. So it works out both ways, especially like with the sparring and that. Obviously, if I don't move, I'm getting KO'd. So, it helps me out big time. I love having the boys in there. It's a good atmosphere. It's a good laugh, and we just push each other all the time.
Alright, Jake, so like I say, you're coming up to your third pro fight on the 21st. If people want to get hold of you, people want to follow your career, if they've seen you for the first time and think, I like this guy, I want to follow him, how do they get hold of you? Are you on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Jake Spring. My Instagram's at JakeSpring_1. I'm always on Instagram, so if you want to contact me on there, that's not a problem.
So welcome back. I'm glad to hear your mum and dads are well and clear for so long, and we look forward to you back out on the 21st of March.
Cheers, thank you, Kev.
Okay, the Trevorism. Here we go.
So I saw Trevor on Saturday, and I'm going to give this to you, because I have dealt with this sort of thing many times. So I'm going to let you deal with the Trevorism this week.
Okay.
The Trevorism is, why on earth do boxers have to sell tickets? This is supposed to be a professional sport. Mm-hmm. They should not be responsible for ticket selling. Mm-hmm. Full stop.
Now, in theory, I suppose he's right in terms of that. Look, you have to sell tickets because there's no other way to finance it, and there's no other way to finance it than to be able to sell tickets. But then I also think that people miss out what ticket selling does, the opportunity it gives. In any other sport, and whether this is right or wrong, but this is the reality of the business, in any other sport, if you're not good enough, you don't make it. What ticket selling does is it does give an opportunity to people to have a chance at changing their lives, have a chance of turning professional, chance of getting sponsorship and writing themselves into a history book that no other sport gives you that platform. Now I'm not saying it's all right, because ticket selling is hard, it really, really is hard. But you know, it is a needs must. You know, the counter argument to that is, if you can't get people to come and watch you, the people that know you, how can someone else get people to come and see you? That's a valid claim. But also, you know, at the same time, if it's what you want to do at our level, it does give an opportunity to people. I think if you sell tickets, it's a great opportunity.
What about those talented kids, super talented, who can't sell tickets?
It's difficult. It's a tough business.
And let's deal with that. I'm going to deal with that just from a point of view. I often get told, I was just chipping with this, why don't you sign this kid?
Yeah.
Because you build him up and you'll get all the benefits.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you build him up, you lose a fortune of money, and then they fuck you off.
Yeah.
Sorry, the only swear word I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And go off with someone else
comes and
there is. So the problem is, because of the bad behaviour of boxers, historically,
and also managers, though, people shouldn't tap up, should they, as well? So it's
because of the bad behaviour in this business, it stops people wanting to invest. I've invested in boxers before and been shafted, right? So therefore, the behaviour of these people means that nobody has got the confidence to want to invest, because you don't want to have legal battles. So that's what really happens now. So when people do say, "I'm a poor boxer," I'm afraid it's other boxers and other managers who are not honourable and are not decent that cause the.
But no, on the side, it's been shown 100 times that if you do sell tickets, so you can build a fan base. You've had people that haven't sold tickets, that with the right market and the right thing, you can develop them into ticket sales. And you found people that have started on the small hall scene, have sold tickets and gone on to.
So the big promoter, if you've got nobody with no fan base, generally the big promoters don't want them anyway.
Yeah, there's a misconception, isn't there? There's a misconception that it's just small hall boxing that wants things, but big promoters have the same problem as a small hall. They have bigger venues to fill. They still want bums on seats, and there's still a commercial aspect added to it. If you've got someone that sells a lot of tickets, it does add more commercial value to that person, that fight. It's just the reality of it. It's the same reason that one striker's worth 100 grand a week, but another striker might be worth 20 grand a week. They both play the same thing. They're both professionals, but they're worth
high value.
It's just the way it is. So, but he's right. I understand, but I do understand the gripe with boxers and ticket sales, and I do think promoters need to work harder. I do think, you know, we try to do everything we can, but we're sat in our fully equipped green room to try and do that.
Well, we're one of the few, right?
Sure, exactly.
A lot of them do absolutely nothing apart from give them tickets, ask them, turn up at fight night.
Exactly.
But then boxers then moan, but they should have done their research before they sign with people.
Sure.
If those people do not promote the boxers or do anything for them, it's their own fault for not researching who does what for who. You know?
So it is a valid thing, and I understand the gripes. It's a hard thing, and all we can do is work as hard as we can. But
so
I don't know if that really answers it.
We'll ask him on Saturday.
That really answers it. Okay, I think just one question, Steve. I'll get it on the Q&A that come through. Hot topic at the moment, if I can find it. 1 second. Just fill in for me, Steve, while this is going on. Okay, so John Bailey said, pod question, how, if at all, does the collapse of Flybe affect your shows, bringing in overseas fighters, etc.? Same goes to coronavirus. Will this limit bringing fighters in, fans purchasing tickets?
Let's do with Flybe. Flybe doesn't really matter.
Sure. But it affects it in a little way, because it can push up other.
Yeah, but commercial airlines come and go, don't they? So that's just what happens, right?
Really
so that's part of the job. You know, coronavirus doesn't affect foreign boxing; it just affects shows. I mean, the way things are, we could end up in lockdown. So, you know, we don't know how that's going to play out. So, of course, it will affect. I think it will affect foreign, but it may affect flying. It may even affect bigger shows being cancelled, smaller shows being cancelled. So it's very hard to say how that will affect. But there's no doubt that. It depends on which way governments do it, but until this gets sorted, it could have an impact in many, many ways.
So I'd say we've not really had anything like it before, have we? So we know that the government are discussing it as we speak.
By the time this goes out,
we may know what's happening. But basically, all we can do in terms of coronavirus is act on the government's instructions.
Exactly.
Other than that, normal business resumes.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it. Thank you for joining us. Say again, as always, if you're not following us on social media, please do. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and if you're not already, subscribe to this channel, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks for watching.